Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got another book review for you, and this is for the debut novella from Eric LaRocca, and this is called Starving Ghost in Every Thread. I'm not going to read the synopsis for this. I want to try to talk about this book without doing that. Of course, I will touch on things that the synopsis talks about because it does touch on things that are in the book, but I just feel like it's better for me to just talk about it on my own terms instead of reading from the back of the book, okay? So it's about this girl. Her name is Teddy, and the very first time you meet her, she is working in this local market, and she's with a customer, and something happens. Something that at first the customer can't see, and I'm still not really sure if the customer did see this or what, but Teddy begins to unravel. And I mean, I'm talking about she literally begins to, her skin begins to unravel from her body. And there's a reason for that, okay? And the reason is she's so wracked with guilt. And one thing the book talks about, gives little mentions to throughout, are the fact that she had to come back to her hometown. It's a tiny little town, but she had to come back because of a mistake she made. And this mistake cost her a very prestigious scholarship. And this would be a music scholarship. She's an aspiring singer and songwriter. But yeah, this mistake kind of cost her that. And it brings her back to her hometown, and she's kind of trapped there now, okay? And it's a tiny little town in Connecticut, and I'll get to more about that in just a second. But like I said, her skin begins to unravel, and the only way she can keep this from happening, and it's because of guilt. She's just so wrecked with guilt that this is what happens to her. But the only way that can prevent this from happening is to feed off of other people's emotions. All right, so there is that. That is the one thing about it. And by telling you that, you probably are thinking, especially if you're a horror fan, you're probably thinking, oh, well, this is just another typical vampire story. Except, instead of sucking blood, she sucks out emotions. Just like there are vampires that suck out or feed on other things besides blood. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here, okay? So if that's all you got out of this book, then yeah, you couldn't be more wrong, okay? And that's no offense to anybody. So one thing this definitely represents, and I'm going to get into more about the book is that I wrote the author, Eric LaRocca. I wrote him on Instagram, and I asked him, I said, I'm into about page 40 of this book. And of course, I finished the book I was just talking about then. Anyway, I'm about into page 40 of this book, and I said, one thing I'm getting from this is that it's kind of a metaphor or an allegory for growing up in a small town and being different. And he said, yes, that is exactly what it is about, okay? Now, I asked Eric a few minutes ago before I started filming this video because I did not want to open my big mouth and just out him to everyone, but he is very open about the fact that he is gay, and he said that this book was a very personal thing for him. He himself grew up in a small town, so he himself knows what it's like to be different from everyone else, all right? And the thing about growing up in a small town as opposed to a big city is that people know your business, and it doesn't take very much for them to find out about you, and that is whether you're gay, whether you are black or where everybody else is not, whether you are disabled where everybody else is not, or whatever. It is very tough to grow up in a small town, okay? So that is one thing that I got from this book, one thing that this book is a metaphor or an allegory for, and I love that. I absolutely loved it. He could have just made this a typical non-horror novel about being different, and I'm pretty sure everyone would have accepted it, but he wrote this story, and it's kind of the story of his life on his own terms, and that is a big plus for me, okay? The other thing is Teddy's mom. Teddy's mom has her own kind of neurosis, that is her own kind of skin ailment that is kind of tied in with her daughter's sadness. And she believes that the only thing that will stop or kind of halt this ailment or keep it in check is scorpion venom. So they have this neighbor, Mr. Ridley, and Mr. Ridley sells and raises these exotic animals. I mean, these are not animals you would find in PetSmart or Petco or anywhere like that. These animals cost tens of thousands of dollars. They're difficult to raise. You have to take a lot of great care with them. And so Teddy goes over there to get the scorpion venom from this gentleman. And she has kind of this camaraderie with these animals, okay? She can handle the scorpions just fine. They seem to kind of have an understanding. She'll pet them. She'll rub underneath on their vertebrae, and they just kind of love that. They have an understanding of her. And she's even given them names. They have names like Amelia and Lorelei, which Lorelei is this kind of beetle that that they talk about in the book, or that Eric talks about in the book, that when it's molting, whenever it's getting ready to go through a change, it's very painful and it could easily die from the change. But I thought this was a very ingenious way for Eric to write about acceptance for being different, because these animals are very much different from your typical everyday insects, all right? And I feel that the understanding that Teddy has with them and that they have with Teddy, the unspoken understanding, is acceptance. And that is something that Teddy definitely needs in her life. Okay? Now on to the bad part of the book. And when I say the bad part of the book, I do not mean that this part of the book is horribly written or anything, but the bad subject matter, okay? So whenever she goes over to Mr. Ridley's house, she meets this girl named Kiara, and they're, I believe they're close to the same age. I don't remember, but they kind of form this very quick friendship. They're pretty much enamored with one another. In fact, there is a sex scene between the two girls in the book, and it's a very beautifully written sex scene. Or not beautifully written. It's a very eloquently written sex scene. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's not dirty. It's very well written. Let me just say that, okay? Because yeah, man. It's very well written, but things soon turn rather toward the end of the book, and I don't want to give away any spoilers, but the relationship that she has with Kiara turns very toxic, and it puts Teddy and her the people she's close to, it puts them in a great deal of danger. All right. And so, of course, this is also another allegory for toxic relationships and about people that you don't want in your life that are going to judge you. They're going to, and that's the thing about it, is that a lot of people in the town, they judge her. They're not sympathetic to her at all. They absolutely judge her. They pity her. They make little comments to her about what their daughters are doing, and pretty much just saying that my daughter is doing this and my daughter is doing that and you're not, blah, 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 nah, 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 kind of thing. So, yeah, the whole thing with them and with Kiara is that, yeah, that part is about toxic relationships, okay? So, like I said, this was kind of a personal project, a personal thing for Eric, okay? Now I guess you're wanting me to tell you whether or not I loved the book or whether I hated it. I absolutely love this book. There's nothing to hate about this book, all right? It's easily one of the best horror novels or novellas that I've read in the entire year of 2020. And this is one of those that I feel that my words cannot do it justice, okay? But I'm trying, all right? Yeah, is there anything wrong with this book? No, there is not. The writing is spot on. And for Eric to just kind of bare his soul and put it out there on the pages of this book is just mind-blowing. He could have easily, like I said, he could have easily made this just a typical novel about a guy that is gay living in a small town, to turn it into a horror novel of this just incredible I'm trying to find the right word. It's just incredible, okay? It was awesome. All right, 5 stars, okay? I am going to leave a link for this book in the description below, because I want you to read it, because it's just a great book. Now, Eric has another book out, or it's going to be coming out in March of 2021, and it is called A Bright Enchanted Suffering. And after reading Starving Ghost in Every Thread, I cannot wait to get to this novella, and he did send me an advanced reader copy of it. So yes, Eric, if you're watching this, I cannot wait to read that book. All right, so that is it. That is my review, so to speak, of Starving Ghost in Every Thread. It is still the weekend. It is Saturday. So you guys out there that are watching, enjoy your weekend, and girls too. When I say guys and girls, I don't mean just guys. I mean guys and girls, guys and gals, whatever. Enjoy your weekend, and thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye. And this is going to post on Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon. All right? Thank you. Bye-bye.